Karma is one of these interesting cycles we seem to not get off. As we enter into these cycles, we don't really realize that we have choice. Choice is something that we're needing to make every day. Every day there is an opportunity for choice. Every day there is an opportunity to see how I'm going to react or how I'm going to respond. The choice or the mere concept if I'm going to react or if I'm going to respond, that by itself determines if you are going to liberate yourself from your cycle of karma. We injure ourselves on a constant basis, meaning that we offend ourselves and we feel injured by others. Needless to say that people whom that we love, we certainly are going to feel affected by them because we love them and we want them to understand us and we want them to very much show us, their love. But in return, we feel injured by strangers, by people whom we love. And we're no longer obviously making choices. We're actually reacting. A part of the reptile brain wants you to react. It wants you to react from a very primitive level. The reptile brain itself has gone through many, many, many different changes. As we are within a particular time within our culture, where the reptile brain can actually go back to what it was designed to experience, which actually is consciousness. That also means that we're coming from a place of constantly being aware of the choices. I choose, I have a choice, I have an option. The mind says, yes, of course you do, absolutely, I agree. But how many times within a day do you actually become aware of your options and your choices? Are we creatures that would rather react than respond? Would we rather absorb than observe? So as a culture, we have learned to become incredibly reactive because this is a very primitive way in which we relate to each other, but in actuality, we don't get free. If I am a person who is a beggar on the street and I am angry, then I shall maintain being a beggar on the street as my anger will capture me frozen into this particular lifestyle. A part of your brain has been dramatically altered, which basically means that most people, even though they appear to be happy, they do not know what happiness is. They talk about being in the now instead of in this moment. Being in this moment means that every aspect of my person is in this moment. I don't want to be in a now. I don't want to be in a time factor. I want to be in this moment right now. We are individuals that ride time and glide upon time, which means we are out of time. We don't have enough time. As long as you are captured by time, you cannot free yourself. And therefore, time makes us make quick reactions. It makes us take on everything around us, quick decisions, instead of what are our needs. We are making emotional decisions that soften the blow of our lives instead of making spiritual decisions that enhance the well-being of our soul. As long as I am short or believe the time factor, time doesn't exist. Karma doesn't exist. Karma exists because you believe in time. Karma doesn't really exist, but then you've become stuck in a repetitive pattern. Therefore, karma is real because you've allowed it to be real. Time isn't real, but you've allowed time to exist. It means that there is a natural rhythm that the universe and the stars operate by, if you wish. This natural rhythm is the rhythm of astrology, the rhythms of the ocean, the rhythms of the wind, the rhythms of land, the rhythms of growing food, rhythms and cycles that we have become unplugged from. People are no longer experiencing being in this moment. as that is what we're needing to really get a sense of who we are. But as long as that we are rushing to and from and here and there and making snap decisions, we are reactive. We are reacting to situations. We are no longer making free choices. We are making reactive choices instead of choices that are free. Indeed, every individual has a responsibility and obligations, and to you, time is real. Time has become real because it tells you when to get up and when to go to work and when it is your day off. So time has become your factor. But it also means there is no time for meditation. There is time for everything else, but there is no time in being just with the soul. You have been trapped by time. Everyone has used your time. You have used your time. Your government has picked up your time. Your children have picked up your time. Your time has no longer become your own. Time is your prison. It is one of the biggest factors that we have that actually captures us from being in the now. And those that have plenty of time and are in the moment do not know how to be in the moment because time, they feel they are wasting time. It is a vicious cycle that no matter what end of the spectrum one is on, being with the pulse in this moment, one, in order to get off this cycle of birth and death, one must retain and regain the rhythms of being in the now. It is odd that every priority within our lives come forward, but we have no time for meditation because we are programmed to make decisions based upon emotions, not based upon real decisions. When we start making decisions based upon our spiritual well-being, not just our emotional well-being, then we would live a completely different life. More and more people are sensing the need to go on vacation, the need to be with nature, the need to be by ocean, the need to go to Africa, the need to go to warm tropical climates. They understand for the salvation of themselves, they need to get unplugged, because as long as you are plugged in to the world as it is, you have become a prisoner of time and prisoner of a culture and prisoner of a city, of a village. Karma does not just exist within our family or within ourselves. It exists within our city, with our province, within our state, within our country, within the world itself. Everywhere we go, each country, each government has its own karma. We are no longer truly free. People are beginning to need and the desire to experience the now. This moment in this second. This moment is what they're realizing. And when we can get into this moment at this moment, this second, right now, and stay within it and not go anywhere else, we begin to see whom we are. The soul operates in the subtlest realms of consciousness. The soul does not communicate as the mind or the ego or all these other factors that we seem to be stimulated by. Culturally, you have been programmed not to listen to the soul because the soul will lead you to liberation. So we have become emotional beings instead of spiritual beings. We've become reactive beings instead of making choices. We have entered into a cycle where we do not even have time to meditate because I could probably hear 1,000 reasons why you do not have time to meditate. You're programmed to live an existence that leaves no time to get off the treadmill of karma.